And we got everyone. We've got everyone. Hello. Hi, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to the room. Love to see some familiar faces and welcome to our new people. Hi, everyone. Good morning, good evening from all parts of the world. I'm dialing in from New Zealand. We've got a couple of us from down under in here. We've got people from all over the world in America. Welcome. Pleasure to see all you guys and some new faces. I'm going to make sure that we've got Monica here and that she's all good and ready to go. Give me a moment. She should be here while we're waiting for her. Welcome everyone. I'll just do the intros and housekeeping. She should be coming. Monica, yes, Monica had another class yesterday and today. I've confirmed that with her that both happened the same week. So what we've got, guys, for Actually Is AI, for those of you who may be new, these are part of our weekly free masterclass series where we get all of our ambassadors AI expert voices to share different areas of expertise across AI with you. So yesterday we had a call that is from our school community. So we've also got a Shares AI school community where we've got networking and advice and tips and calls and mini courses. And some of our experts run support calls in there. So we had another call yesterday as well, and we've got this masterclass today too. So it's a very active week, which is super cool. So those of you who don't know, I'll drop some links in the chat so that you can find some of our community and resources. Um, and maybe Deanna is on our team here. She's here. She might have a spare hand to help me drop some links and promote some things. So I've emailed Monica and I'm making sure she's coming on because it's definitely in the diary and definitely double checked the time. And I definitely knew that we were doing this today. So we'll just make sure that she is here somewhere. We're usually on time. So um, yeah, so anyone that doesn't know, Shares Ours is part of a large ecosystem as a company that started probably literally only 6 to 9 months ago, and it's going really fast. We started as a magazine in a space to celebrate women in AI, and we have a quarterly magazine that comes out. We've expanded really fast, as you can imagine, with AI growing and moving very fast. We've expanded to a community, which we host on school. We also host different types of events, summits, masterclasses like this, and we're planning a conference. We're also expanding into the agency space where we have a large talent roster of women in AI that you're all welcome to apply for, that we'll be rolling out, and it's like a global agency where through us, we engage different experts in AI who are doing work for different clients around the world. And finally, we have an academy um, where we're going to be listing more AI courses and offers and masterminds and group and support. Yeah, more summits and full day things for female founders and women that want to learn more about AI. Our whole ethos, guys, is a heart-led organization that is community-led and driven. We're a collaborative global group of people passionate about making an impact and a difference in AI. We are inclusive of men and women. We have a whole arm of our business passionate about reaching youth. We have a whole brand partnerships side of our business where we have over 20 business partners with institutions and businesses globally that are passionate about also educating people in AI and making a difference. We're partners with the UN, where we provide AI education and support and courses to them for making accessible AI education available globally. We have about 90 brand ambassadors and growing every day, which is incredible. Some of you are here today, and we're driven by a passionate, a global group of women, and it's incredible, and men, and it's incredible. So yeah, that's us in a nutshell. And so the beautiful Lenise that's on this call, she, from some inspired place in the universe, wrote us a beautiful song that has been going out on social media. It's on YouTube and it's everywhere. She rewrites the light. Yeah, I think you've just dropped the link in the chat. Thank you for that, Deanna. If you guys all want to listen to that, it's makes all of us cry every time we hear it. It's just come out this week and we're hoping to share it with everyone. It's a beautiful, moving song that speaks to our mission and our vision for women and underrepresented voices in AI globally and for the future, and making sure every voice is heard on this platform.
I could share my screen right now if you want me to. If we're
Okay,
waiting for her
let's kick off
still.
with that. Monica's just joined us. Love you to do
Sure.
that. Yes. Deanna,
Sure.
go
Let
for
me
it. I
go
think
do that.
yeah.
Let me make sure audio is being shared.
Yeah, we'll have that as our
My
intro.
apologies for the hungry dog in the background. All right, let's go up and let's make sure audio is working. Hang on a second, guys. Since I am sharing, let me just go make sure audio is on first. There it is, and look at the audio. And let's start back at the beginning. Maybe. I have a little bit of a bug in my computer that I thought I got rid of.
Right, do you want me to try and play it? See if I have any better success. It might be.
I think I got it. I just need to share again.
Okay.
There we go. Can you hear it?
Yeah, got sound now.
She was told it's too late, too old to innovate. Dreams on pause, life on loop. But something in her wouldn't wait. Fight from a job, but door shut tight. She opened her laptop, lit up the night. Watched a spark become a flame. Started learning, changed her name. She thought she was the only one, but there were thousands more becoming. Mothers makers, minds reborn in every time zone, every morning. She is AI, not made but becoming. A river rising, a future humming. From silence to sound, from spark to sight. She didn't just find a voice, she rewrote the light. She is AI, we are the tide. Waves of wonder you cannot hide. We are not the echo, we are the mic. She is AI, and we rewrite the light. Heard in hallways, whispered low, you don't belong, but she still showed. Now she's teaching kids an Accra code, while a teen in Queens breaks every mold. A dancer in Rio, a coder in Seoul, a poet in Cairo, a strategist bold. They thought it was tech, turns out it was soul. And now we rise, fierce and whole. They built walls, we built doors. They drew maps, we crossed shores. They asked for proof, we showed up twice. In hoodies, hijabs, heels and light. She is AI, not made but becoming. A river rising, a future humming. From silence to sound, from spark to sight. She didn't just find a voice, she rewrote the light. She is AI, we are the tide. not just learning code, we're rewriting careers, building businesses, teaching daughters, questioning systems, breaking silence, creating art, finding each other. She is AI and she's just begun, not artificial. She is everyone from Johannesburg skies to Tokyo nights. We're shaping the world with wisdom and light. She is AI, we are the rise. Not a moment, a movement, a million eyes. We are not the echo, we are the mic. She is AI, and we rewrite the light. She is AI, we are the light. She is AI, we are the voice. She is AI, we are the future. We write the light.
I swear I tear up every time I see that. Oh, and hear that. Yeah,
Thank you for
really
playing that. Honestly,
inspired.
we didn't plan on that, guys, but I think that song demanded to be seen. So I hope you all love it. It was a nice way to start our session. So thanks, Deanna. We'll hand over to Monica now. Yeah, I hope you guys love that. Just incredible. We've watched it like 50 times. My 2-year-old has watched it. She loves it. Beautiful. So Monika Maleva is runs AI Business Builders, and she's one of our major partners here at She Is AI, and we love working with her. She is awesome at all things AI automation and building and technical things. She keeps it practical, accessible, down to earth, strategic, and straight up best advice I've got myself for the whole internet for automation. My number one go-to lady. So it is a pleasure to have her here today. Please feel free to put your hand up or put questions in the chat, and I'm sure she'll facilitate those as she goes. I want to hand over to you, Monica. Dive in and go for it. We'll hand over to you, and yeah, I'll keep the chat rolling, and we'll crack on.
Awesome. Sorry for the tardiness, guys, but I clicked on a link in school and it must have been the wrong link because I've been waiting for like 15 minutes in there.
No. Oh my gosh, I'm
And then
sorry.
I
I'll double
got
check that right
and then
now.
I got the email from you. And lucky I checked my email because I was like, maybe it's not happening.
Oh.
Um, and then I
Okay,
got
I
into
will
this
double
thing.
check that right now. My
Yeah.
apologies, I'm not sure what's happened there. Okay. Oh,
Um, anyway, while Amanda's checking, today I'm going to show you how cool custom GPTs can be when you actually turbocharge them to access external data and how they can do so much more than just the normal things that we usually do with custom GPTs. And I have a super tiny presentation, like 6 slides. And then I'm going to show you some custom GPTs, and they're pretty simple custom GPTs because I didn't want to overwhelm anyone, and how they work with automations and using external data. And then we're going to build one, which will take us like 5 minutes to build it. Again, super simple one. Just keep in mind that you always start simple and you test and then you add more stuff and you make it more and more complicated, because if you try to create it too complicated from the get-go, a lot of the times things break and you have no idea what is broken and what to fix. Okay, now let me share my screen and just move some stuff because I can't see. Okay, so as I said, today we're going to talk about how to turbocharge your custom GPTs and how they can access data from the outside of the Chat GPT environment and automate tasks. Whoops, sorry. No, it is not working. Okay, so for those of you who don't know or are not aware of, custom GPTs are literally your own version of Chat GPT that are tuned to specific instructions, files, or tools. Yesterday we had another another workshop, and I was giving the example of, imagine if ChatGPT is a math book and has everything about math that you can possibly think of, but then you just want to learn or you want to talk about algebra. So you're going to take a chunk of this book and make it your own, and this will be like your custom GPT that is just an algebra little mini book. Okay, so what custom GPTs include? They generally include role, instructions, and knowledge and uploaded files. And the last thing where we're turbocharging them, this is where we add functions. And this is where we connect to external apps. And how you can think of it is a helpful assistant. And when you give it functions, you kind of give it extra set of arms. Okay. Why add functions? Because it can do so much more. And these are some things that I just came up with very, very quickly off the top of my head yesterday. So you can add to-do items to a task app like Todoist, Microsoft To Do. You can schedule meetings straight from your custom GPT by dropping events straight into Google Calendar. You can collect emails and send them to your list. You can check the exchange rate, for example, if you're in, or you can change the stock market. You can check the weather, like your ChatGPT can check the weather and then suggest an outfit depending on today's weather. You can send data for analysis to an external automation. You can protect your GPT's access by checking a database. And you can generate an email, an invoice through Stripe or Xero. So these are just a few examples that will give so much more functionality to your custom GPTs. And not only that, but if you're building custom GPTs for other people, then you can charge a lot more than what you're charging right now. Okay, so how does it work under the hood? Basically, the user says, and that is in the ChatGPT or the custom GPT interface, it says, hey, can you analyze my copy? Or they'll just click a link that says analyze my copy. The custom GPT goes in the backend and finds a function. And that's like the matching function to what you're asking. And that will depend on the instructions you have given in the back. Then it sends a JSON package. JSON is one of the most used coding it's not a language, but one of the most used coding files to transport data from one place to another, and it doesn't matter what place that is. It could be from a custom GPT to an automation. It can be from one node in the automation into the other. It can be anything. And JSON is super easy to write, super easy to read. You don't have to be a coder to actually read what's in the JSON. And there are a million apps that can help you write and read JSON and fix JSONs. So basically, you're sending this JSON that requests access to that external application, waits for the answer, and then returns the answer back into the custom GPT. And this is where our friendly response comes in. And it converts that raw data that is bringing into readable text. All right. How do we build a custom GPT? Sorry, I'm just trying to move stuff because I can't see my slides. So the first thing is you go to the left-hand side of the ChatGPT window. You click on your icon with your name or your image. You click on My GPTs. Then you click on Create a GPT. And then you click on Configure tab. In that Configure tab, you will give all the instructions. You also have to mention if you're having those functions, so access to external apps, you have to mention them as well. And then you'll scroll below, you'll scroll right to the very end, and you'll click on Add Function. And this is where you will put that code. So there's a very specific way of creating this code because it's a template that OpenAI needs in order to process this call to an external application. the actual custom GPTs now have a little button, and I'll show you when we create one, that that links to a custom GPT built by OpenAI that will help you build that schema. It's called a JSON schema. I also built my own before OpenAI did, so I built my own that does the same thing. And if authentication is needed, so some external app will need an API key that you have to add or some sort of a different authentication. Not all of them, especially if you're working with platforms like N8N and Make, you don't need any authentication. But if you're, for example, if you're checking exchange rates or anything about trading, usually they will require you to authenticate in one way or another. And after that, as I said, you publish and you start testing. While you're inside of the building side of your custom GPT, and you use the chat window there, it actually shows you what is happening. Because if something is not working, it will show you in that working area, but it's not going to show you if you go to the user interface side of the custom GPT. What else do we have? And this is my last slide. So keep it focused. Always try to create one GPT for a specific task. Make sure that when you create functions, they have very clear naming. Like I have here, like get weather rather than API call 42, because then you will get lost. You will not know what function you're calling. And especially if you start creating really complicated custom GPTs that have more than one function. And always preview the console that shows you all the requests and responses. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing now, and I'll see if you guys have any questions before we move on to showing you some small and like easily created custom GPTs that have those functions. If you guys have questions, you can maybe raise your hand or you can unmute yourself and say something. Because I just want to make sure that everybody understands what I am talking about and not get overwhelmed.
I have one.
Yeah.
So Rachel answered this, I think. So I asked what a JSON was, and it's a form of, sorry, my dog, and it's a form of JavaScript, right? And is that the chosen language for all of AI? Like for the chats, for the Claudes, for all of that?
It could be JavaScript or it could be Python. Most of them are JavaScript. But the JSON is the chosen way of collecting and sending data.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
I'm just looking at the chat, but I'm not seeing any other questions. Okay, so I'll move on. I'll just remove that. And okay. So I'm going to show you a few custom GPTs, and I'm going to show you the backends, like the driving force that is the outside automation. And these automations are small because I didn't want to overwhelm you guys. And then we're going to build one. I'm going to share my screen again. Okay, so this little custom GPT analyzes blogs. And the driving force behind it is this little agent that will analyze the blog post and will return the analysis in here. So I'm just going to let it run because this is not live. This is my blog post. I'll just select it all. I'll copy it. I'll go to my custom GPT. Oops, so that's not the one. And I'll click on analyze my blog post. And then I'm going to paste it. And as you can see, it's starting to talk to my function at the back. And then it asks me if I will allow it to connect. If I click on yes, it starts talking to it. Oops, sorry. It just stopped. Yeah. So it just executed in like 10 seconds. And it gave me an analysis. Here is another one. Okay. Let me start from the beginning. So this one will write an article, and then I want to take this article and make it into a different types of content. And we can use make with this very simple automation, and then we have Airtable as a database, and I've just made it to create an email, a video script, and a Facebook post. So if I say write an article, and it will ask me about the topic, I'll say, okay, how AI impacts white collar work. I'll just copy and paste. This is my preferred structure, for example. And who's the article for? And I will say small to medium businesses. You don't always have to answer all the questions. You'll just answer the questions you want, and it will write the article. I'll wait for the article to be written. It's asking me actually more questions before I start writing. Do you have any specific stats, quotes, highlight, insights, or examples? I'll just say no to keep it brief. And now it's doing a little bit of a search, and it's writing my article. Okay, now what I will do is I will again run this automation because it's not live. It's waiting with the webhook. I'll say send to webhook. It will ask me again. It will ask me again. And now, as you can see, it's starting to, trying to move it, it's starting to write. So the first thing is it's writing an email. It's already put the article in the database. As you can see, we got the title and the copy of the article. The next thing that it's doing is the email. So if I click on the email here, I have a subject line, I have an email copy, and I've got the status that is put as ready to send. The next thing we're doing is it's creating a video script, and it's going to drop it right here. Again, here's our video script. It tells me when it's created. Again, I can put status like these databases can be whatever you want. I just created them very quickly yesterday. And the last one, it was to create a Facebook post, which it did. It put it in here. You can just upload your image and it will be ready to post. All right, the next GPT I want to show you is, so this is an opt-in GPT. So instead of having a landing page, you can actually send people to a custom GPT. It will collect their email address. And in here, for example, if I say I want access to the social media post creator, and I click on here, and it will tell me, hey, provide your email address below. So what I'm going to do, this is the little workflow. And the only thing it does is it's grabbing this email address and it's sending it to my email provider, which in my case is ActiveCampaign. And you can connect it to anything you want. I'm just going to click run once, so it's waiting. And I'm going to give it an email address. Then it's going to talk to the GPT. Whoops, sorry. And I think that I tried it before, and it will tell me that the contact already exists. Sorry. I see what I did. Do you see, guys, what I did? And that's actually really good because it shows you how your automation can break. So I will just do it again. I actually have I have a space where my email is. So I'm going to run it again, and it's gonna, I am going to fix it. Okay. So now we are confirming. And if I go back here, now it's working perfectly fine. And that email is now in my ActiveCampaign as a contact. So this is actually really cool having it this way, because if you look at here, it says, thank you for the link, and your custom GPT is on its way. In the meantime, check out, and I've got a link for them to actually go and check out my offer. And this will help you with the overwhelm of constantly having to create landing pages. And it is actually more interesting to people because everybody is used to landing pages. But if you say, hey, just go in here and give your email to my custom GPT, and you'll get your lead magnet, PDF, link, whatever that is, in the email in a couple of minutes. All right. And the last GPT I wanted to show you is how you can use automations to actually protect your custom GPTs and to give access only to people that are paying you for access. Because a lot of people think that because people are that only people that are in their memberships, for example, or subscriptions, will be able to access it. But once I have the link, so this link up here, once I have this link, I can leave your memberships and come and use it for as long as I want. However, and this is actually a real custom GPT that is in my community, if I say generate image prompt, oh, sorry. I think, let me try. I think that I have played with it before. Oh, sorry, guys. See, it's like having children, sick children, taking them to the doctor, and they're perfectly fine when you get there. Let me just go with another one that I haven't played with, because I think that this one uh, is actually already signed in. I've already signed in to test it. Let me just find one of mine that is protected, and I'll show you. This one, I believe, is protected. Okay, so here's what is happening. It says, hey, I'm the N8N workflow architect from AI Business Builder. So the first thing is I have a link. To get started, please provide your email address for verification. This allows me to confirm your membership and unlock full access to build a workflow for you. And so the first thing I'm going to give is I'm going to give it like a Mickey Mouse email. So I'm going to say monica@monika.com. This email does not exist. So I'll start with the one that doesn't exist. It will go and check. And it says you're not currently a member, so it's not letting me allow it. To become a member, go and click on this link. But then if I say, hello at the expert, I hope I spelled it correctly. It will go and check again. and it says you're verified. Now we can start working together. You can see, guys, there's so many ways of creating custom GPTs that will do whatever you want. You just have to think of the thing you want and see if there's an API. So an API is the thing that will allow you to connect from one application to another. And if the third-party application has an API that will allow you to do the thing that you want to do, then you can link your custom GPT to that application. Okay, any questions at the moment?
I have some.
Yes.
So, so to even begin any creation, you're going to need different utilities. So you showed make, and then you showed a different one as well. So those are the two you need to have in order to create these automations.
I use both NA10 and Make for automations. Like with Make, I use the Make automations is if I need a lot of volume and if I need something that is less complicated. I use NA10 for things that may require subflows or agents or things like that.
Okay.
But other than that, we're going to create one custom GPT in a moment where we're going to connect to something completely different, like to an external database. As I said, you just need to find, like, for example, if you want to check the weather, you have to go to say open weather and get their API and create a function that will go and check open weather. If you want to add things into your Google Calendar, you have to connect Google to your custom GPT and use the endpoints there to add stuff to your Google Calendar. So whether it's an automation, so an automation will take whatever information you send to your whatever information you're sending through your GPT and will process it in a way that you want it processed. A third-party application will only allow you to do the things that third-party application does. For example, if you're going to checking the weather, this application will not gonna tell you what the news are today.
And I suppose, because I'm very new, obviously, there's going to be a way that I'm going to know which utility that I want to use or that I think will fit it best. I wonder, it's probably the silliest question I'll ask, but I'm guessing that ChatGPT will recommend whatever utilities you need that may be best suited for the task that you're trying to get it to do.
Yeah, you
Right?
can just go to the normal chat GPT and say, hey, I'm creating a GPT doing that, and I wanna connect it to a third-party application. What would you suggest?
Cool.
And a lot of people
Excellent.
know, like as I said, if you want to check the weather, there's only so many apps that check the weather and have APIs.
Yes, I'm making mistakes. Somebody's
Yeah.
I had a question for you.
Yeah, Katie?
Yeah. For the last one that you just shared, what backend did you use that for that one? Did you use Make or can you share that?
Yeah, I used Make because it has so much volume and I don't want to overwhelm my N8N account.
Mhm.
I'll show you in a moment. I'll open Make and I'll find it and I'll show you what the automation looks like. It's very simple again.
Yeah, that one seems super helpful.
And I'll show you where it's checking as well.
Have you used Zapier or just?
I hate Zapier, and Zapier can be so incredibly expensive.
Mhm.
Okay, so I'll show
And
my
NA10 is the other one. Is it literally the NA and the number 10? That one I'm not familiar with. The other one that you use outside of Make. I may be pronouncing it wrong.
NA10?
Mhm.
Yeah, it's literally the letter N, the number 8, and the letter N.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah. Okay, so this is the email checker. So this is the automation that checks the email. So the webhook grabs the email. It searches the records in my Airtable, which is here, and it looks at those email addresses. And then it has a filter. See, it says valid license, invalid license. And the valid has to be true. If it's true, it's going to go through here. And the webhook response is a valid result. So this is 200. Otherwise, it tells me that the validation result is not a valid license. And it gives me the link. So as I said, they can be as simple or as complicated. However, this custom GPT, when you look in it, it actually in its instructions, it has email verification rule and it will follow that. And then it has the function in here.
Okay, so that's when it popped up and said, sign up here. We don't see you, and yeah.
Correct.
Or it has the like provide your
Correct.
email.
Yeah. So that's why it says, hey, if you're not a member, you can't use it.
Mhm.
And I can say like even if I try and say, hey, I just want you to help me, even if I'm not a member, it will still not do it.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah,
Cool, thank you.
not a problem at all. Yeah, Mary, so it's like a paywall. It's not a real paywall, but it's like a paywall because I don't know why OpenAI never allowed us to create subscriptions through their environment, so we can actually have these functionalities without having to resort to all these third-party ways of doing it.
No, but oh my God, you have no idea how grateful I am right now for you. This is exactly what I was looking for because I had seen people that had like a test this GPT for a certain amount of money and then join for this other amount of money. And I'm like, how they're doing it because I realized what you just did. I have a free GPT as my lead magnet, but I was like, once I improve it, if I want to charge for it, anybody with the link can use it. Exactly what you just said. And I could not find anybody on YouTube that could address the issue. Thank you. I love you so much right now. I want to send you flowers. That was like the little piece I was missing. I'm like, I know you can do it. And there's an app. I don't know if you've heard of it. I think it's out of flow, something like that. If I find it, I'll post it in the chat. So it does create a paywall, but I was like, there has to be, I want to learn what you do, like I want to learn that even if there's like an easier way, something I can pay for, da 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 da, it's fine. But I want to know how the bread is made. So thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that.
Yeah. Lenise says that you can charge on Pickaxe. Yes, you can, but Pickaxe is a wrapper that is built on the GPT framework. And you have to pay for Pickaxe as well. But if you just use custom GPTs, you don't have to pay for them because, well, you have to pay you $20 per month to chat GPT. But it's just a different way. I used Pickaxe 2 years ago and they're getting better. But again, it's a wrapper. Like any one of you guys can build a platform like Pickaxe. Any one of you, even with no code, and build it on top. Because most of the platforms that you see, not all, most are built either on top of OpenAI's framework or on top of Anthropic's framework, which is Claude. It's either one or the other. And here's something that happens. So there's a company called Bolt New, and this is one of those vibe coding apps where you just tell it what you want and it builds stuff. So OpenAI went and bought it for, I think, 3 million or 3 billion or something, like some ridiculous amount of money. They went and bought it Bolt is built on top of Anthropic. So it uses Claude because Claude is the best coder in the world. ChatGPT cannot code at all as good as what Claude can. So Claude went, oh, I mean Anthropic went, oh, so you bought that is using our platform? Well, we're just gonna pull out our platform and we're not gonna let Bolt use it. So now OpenAI bought a platform that is worth nothing because Claude pulled out their framework from Bolt.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's insane.
Yeah, which is crazy. That's why I'm saying any one of you guys can build your own platform and wrap it around something, whether it's Claude or whether it's ChatGPT or OpenAI and Anthropic.
That's hilarious. The battles, the behind the scenes battles. That's
Yeah,
funny.
this is like the battle of the X's.
Yeah, you know what? It doesn't matter about the money now. That's hilarious. So another question for you, as far as the user's experience, so obviously the last example that we're talking about where it's the private chat GPT and did they so their experience when they interact with you on your site or whatever to then go access this GPT, is it a link and then it takes them right into chat GPT, or is there some, or do you use another interface in between? Or do they see what
I,
exactly?
I just put them straight into ChatGPT. I mean,
Yeah.
you want as little friction as possible when people
Right.
click through stuff.
Mhm. But they don't, and so they have to be educated on what that looks like and stuff like that, which I think most people are. But
Well, I think
yeah,
that 95% of the people that at least have heard about AI have started on ChatGPT, and the very minimum they are familiar with the interface. That's why
Mhm.
when you give them a custom GPT, it's still the same interface. It's just the instructions in the back are different.
Yeah, I think everyone's building them to look the same as ChatGPT too. Like everything, anyway, the platforms that I've seen where they build stuff internally, they have the same
Yeah,
layout where it's all in the middle and everything's on the left side. Okay,
yeah.
just curious. I know some people are putting like these different.
Oh, you can, like if you have a sales page, a lot of people sell one-off access to their custom GPTs. So you do have a sales page, and the only
Mhm.
way that person will get the link to that custom GPT is after they pay.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
again, you have to be aware that this is a custom GPT that you charge once and can be used forever, which is fine. Like I have one of my members, he was selling custom GPTs last year on Etsy, and he made about 300 sales, which is pretty
Hmm.
good. He
Yeah.
was selling like very niche, like for tattoo artists and for the people that deal with skin, like cosmeticians or whatever they're called.
Mhm.
Yeah, so he was actually taking some of mine and just repackaging them to be, specifically for these industries, and he did really well. But
Mhm.
this is a one-off. So this is another
Right.
way you can make money with your custom GPTs that do something. Like it's really hard to sell a custom GPT that doesn't have external functions, for example, or that doesn't do something really cool. But the
Mhm.
thing is, when you link it to external functions, then you pay for the usage.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
all these automations that are running in the back of any of the GPTs that I use, I pay each time somebody does something. So
Yeah.
that's why I like to put my custom GPTs behind a subscription wall, not behind a one-off payment wall.
Hmm. And I think that's things that people don't, that you don't think about too until maybe you
Yeah.
get hit with.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And it may not cost a lot of money, but if you have volume, then it starts
Oh, yeah.
costing money.
Right.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess, and I guess in a nutshell, we now have to be educated on all the other back end fees, depending on which one we use the most, right? So I'm guessing all the ones listed, you know, they all have a monthly fee. They all have, so you're not just paying for ChatGPT, you're also paying for whatever other utility that you need to use
Correct.
as well. Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
Now, that custom GPT that we're going to build now is built with a completely free API. You can use it forever and a day, and it's free. But most free APIs that you can use, they're kind of silly or, things that you can't really sell or that like for personal use. Um, Okay, so let's see if we can pull that off in 5 minutes and build that custom GPT, and then we'll chat a bit more. All right. So, and let me move some stuff around. Okay, so here is a free API that gives you cocktail recipes. And I am going to use look up random cocktail, for example. All right, I'm going to copy this and I'm going to go to my, where is it? Okay, so this is my personal JSON builder that I built probably a year and a half ago before OpenAI built their own. And I'll just click, I need a custom action, and I'll say I need to connect to this cocktail database with this URL. I'm gonna paste the URL, and I want to get a cocktail recipe. Based on the user requirements. Let's see what happens here. And it literally builds the whole thing for me. Now, sometimes it does have errors, but then you come back here and you say, hey, this is my error, and it fixes it for you. All right, now that we have that, I am going to open a new chat GPT and I'm going to build a brand new GPT. Where are my GPTs? I'm going to say create my GPT, and I'll say it's a cocktail maestro. And I'm going to say ask the user about the recipe they want. I'll see, for example, is it to match a meal? Is it for a season or something else? Is it for season party or something else? Now, of course, if you're doing it properly, you're probably going to have a much better prompt than what I'm just doing now. And use, so I'm going to stop here and use, because I want to add my function first, because it will give me the name of my function. And I'm going to unclick everything in here, and I'm just going to click on the code interpreter. And I'm going to click on new action, and then I'm just going to come and, sorry, I did not copy my action. I'll copy this and I'll just paste it in here. If everything is good, it will, I'll probably use this one. So now I have a lot of functions that I can use if I want to. I can also make it much lighter, but let's see if it will work this way. And use the get random cocktail function to give the user a recipe. Okay. Oh, something else that I wanted to mention. When you create, when you create these actions, if you're using it for yourself, you can use it just like that. If you are using it, if you're going to give it to people, you absolutely need to have a privacy policy. Otherwise, it will not let you actually save it. And you can only save it for personal use, and that's it. Okay, I'm going to create it. And as you can see, only me, anyone with the link. Actually, let me show you if I don't have a privacy policy, how it's not going to let me actually save it. So if I go in here, oh, come on.
You have an H in that line.
Yeah, see, it says public actions require a valid privacy policy. See, it's not going to let me do anything. So if I go back in here and I add my privacy policy, now I can create it. So this is very important because a lot of people, like so many people are like, hey, I create my custom GPT and I can't save it. Right? So if I come in here, of course you can have buttons, you can have things, but I'm just gonna say, hey, what is a great cocktail to have on a hot summer night? And now it's going to go and talk. See, this is what I was saying. Like if you click in here, it tells you exactly what it's doing, but it's not going to show you if you go on the outside in the user interface. So this is how you debug stuff if something is not working. And I will say allow. It's going to talk to my connector and it says, hey, a great cocktail to enjoy on a hot summer night is the Alabama Slammer. It's fruity, refreshing, and carries a smooth southern charm, perfect for summer vibes. It gives me the recipe, and then it gave me a little image. So imagine if you are a chef and you have, something that you're offering people, with food. This can be a custom GPT that is a bonus to your subscribers, something like this, where they can be like, hey, match, like we can say, what cocktail can I have with grilled fish? Now it's gonna go and search. And now it tells me for grilled fish, a cosmopolitan is a surprisingly fitting pairing. It's citrusy and slightly tart profile cuts through the richness of the fish, especially if it's served with herbs or lemon. And again, I've got a cool image. So start thinking about, especially if you want to enrich your own offers with custom GPTs that do cool stuff, just start thinking what is the one thing that will make a huge difference. Like, as I said, if you're a chef and if you have like a cooking course or you teach moms, well, not moms, because moms, well, actually, moms probably drink more cocktails than anybody else. But yeah, if you're teaching somebody how to cook stuff, then you can be, hey, I'm also going to give you this custom GPT that gives you the perfect cocktail for each meal that you cook. So you can see how easy it is, like even without thinking, in 5 minutes, you can create a custom GPT that is linked to a database or to a third-party application, and you have it in a working condition. If you are going to sell it, definitely make sure that it's very well structured and it's tested extensively. So yeah, Diana.
So you showed how you even entered the create the GPT through your JSON GPT.
Yeah.
If I don't have that, how
Okay,
would
if you
I
don't
do
have that, let me show you.
Thank you.
If we go in here, I'm just going to delete everything because it shows
Thank you.
only when it's deleted. Do you see here it says get help from Actions GPT? So this is built by OpenAI.
Yes.
Oh,
I'm not sure.
hang on. Share
and
your
it does the
screen.
same thing.
Oh, share your screen.
Oh, shit, sorry.
Just take a step back if you don't mind. Thank you.
That was good. Anyway, you guys can see it now. Okay, so if I delete this whole function and this thing pops up, get help from Actions GPT. And when you click on it, that is built by Chat GPT, as you can see. And it does exactly the same as what mine does. I just made mine because there wasn't anything available. But
So
this is
you
free.
go,
Yeah.
so to start scratch, am I gonna click on the ChatGPT little emblem thing and say, how do I start? What do I do? Like if I'm gonna start from scratch. Sorry, I'm
You
just
were in the
Okay.
custom GPT builder, right, Monica?
Yes. So let me just find
sorry.
something and I'll show you how you can start if you don't know those URLs that I showed you. So there's this app. This app makes music and it has really good documentation. That's why I want to show you to you. Uh, where is the API composition? Oh, come on. I can't remember where it does it, how it works. Where's the API? I found one that works really well. API. Maybe you have to be signed in. Okay, let me try something else because I don't want to sign into stuff. Oh, mm. Just gonna try something else. At least I'm signed in here. If we go in here. Okay, so this is documentation for how to use an API. And if I don't know, like it's got a lot of stuff. And if I'm not trying to understand what's happening, I can just go in here and I will say, can you tell me? Can you tell me how to use this API? Here's the documentation. And I just gave it the link to that page. And it tells you, this is what you can do. Sample request body. And I can say, okay, I want to, I don't know which one I clicked on actually. I want to generate audio based on a prompt. And I say, okay, I want to generate audio based on a prompt. Can you? And it's going to give me that. Like if you go in here, it actually tells you, it gives you all that information. It gives you all this information, but if you don't know, now this is probably not the best example, but some are very complicated APIs and they don't give you examples. But this is how you do it. Otherwise, if you know the URL, like we did in here, you can just grab the URL and it will tell you what to do. If you are building, for example, this one here, if you're building something with a webhook, you need the webhook address. And all you need to do in here is copy the address. In here, in the webhook, again, you copy the address here. And you will go to, I'll start a new chat. This is the same on the Actions GPT. And I'll say, can you give me an action JSON schema to connect to this webhook, and send articles to make.com. And now it's going to create the whole thing for me. And as I said, if I get an error, I'll come here and I'll say, I'm getting this error, and then I'll copy and paste whatever the error says, and it will fix it for you. Most of the times it works. Sometimes it fixes it within 1 or 2, backwards and forwards. Sometimes if it's something really complicated, it may take a few minutes. But as I said, you don't have to code. Like I'm not a coder. I do not actually code, but I can read and I can ask the right questions. So everything comes down to asking the right questions, basically.
So you basically go to new project or to new chat and you start from scratch there.
I go to my GPTs, I start a new GPT, and when you scroll down in the back to where the functions are, you will see that link that will connect you to the ChatGPT JSON builder.
Okay, new chat, and then I guess tools, right? Create an image, write or code.
Sorry.
All
Do you
right.
want to share your screen so I can see what you're doing?
Thank you. I'm so sorry. I really am very novice, but I'm want to do this. So here we go. I'm going to share my screen. And right here we go. So where do I go? I'm going to start.
So if you go to the
Pretend I know.
right-hand side, where your right-hand, other side, where
Excuse
your
me.
icon is, where it says Pro, and you click on it, and you click on My GPTs,
My GPTs.
yeah, and up the top it
Aha.
says Create a GPT, and
That's
you
where
click
I
on
go.
Configure, the tab that says Configure, one says Create, yeah. If you scroll down to the very bottom, and you click on Create New Action,
Aha.
and you can
That's
see
how
down
I
here
do.
Get Help from Actions GPT.
Aha.
Open that custom GPT built by ChatGPT to do that for you.
Aha. Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you. All right.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Uh, Desiree says, do I need to uncheck do I need to uncheck the code and data? No, keep it on. Yeah, I'm not seeing any other questions on the chat. Do any of you guys have any questions at all? Or any other questions? Dan?
How? I'm thinking of apps. I'm thinking of like those app builders that exist out there and stuff like that. Like, could this be like a version of an app builder when you're doing automation and stuff like that? I don't know why suddenly apps came to my head.
They don't really use custom GPTs.
Okay. Sorry, that was probably a
I can
silly
show you
question.
what apps look like, but they look very, very different from custom GPTs. I'll just find an app. Sorry, I just want to pull out some stuff and I'll show you how apps work.
Just while you're doing that, Monica, I just thought we can spend all day here, but I do need to wrap up, and I'm on another conference call just after this. So I just want to make sure everyone's happy. Any other last notes or questions before we just try and wrap up? Once you've finished that, Monica. I love the engagement and all the questions, and this has been so educational, and taken some notes, and I think we've all learned a lot in I'll call it a blast class, because that was like so many questions answered. It's incredible. Yeah. Hope you guys all enjoyed that and learned a lot. In the chat, I just dropped a link to school if anyone is not already in our school. The recording will be up there. It's membership in school. Monica's got one as well if you're interested in automation as well. Go check them both out. She's AI Business Builders, and where she is AI Community. If anyone's interested, yeah. And thank you all for coming and being engaged and yeah, being here and supporting us. I'll let you wrap up, Monica, and just do what you're doing there. Just thought I'd
Yeah, I just want to show how apps work with all that. And I'm going to share my screen very quickly. So this is my new app library. On top, when you look at it, it looks like apps. When you open the app, come on, it will ask you to upload a file. And then in the back end is driven by an automation, which is this here. So for this specific app, this is the automation that grabs whatever I'm uploading with a webhook and then sends, sorry, and then gives you. Now this is built with Lovable in here. So this is the front end that I've built. The back end is N8N, and I'm still using some form of Chat GPT, but only as the brain for my analysis builder, for my little agentic node here. So this has nothing to do with custom GPTs. Nothing. Yeah.
I'm gonna go and look at
So
that.
much to learn.
So
I'm going to still have
I'm
to.
going to look. I've dropped the link to that site in the chat. That's very cool. I'm going to go and look at that myself. And I hope everyone's got a takeaway or learned something or got some homework. Definitely see some of us going and building out some of these machines like today and over the weekend. And love to hear what you all end up doing with this, and share some of your updates. Follow Monica on social media. AI Monica, I think, everywhere on YouTube and
Not everywhere because I couldn't get handles.
everywhere. She's got a great YouTube channel, and check her community out on school if you guys want more of that awesome stuff. Yeah, we will wrap up now. Is that okay? Thank you very much, Monica, for your time, and that's been awesome. Thank you all for joining us.
It's been a lot of fun. Thank you, guys.
Really cool. See you all. Bye.